This is Sparta!
Hello everybody, hope you are going super well. So today we're going to be talking about my most anticipated movies for 2019. Now I have to say that I have been super focused on catching up on all my 2018 stuff and like seeing everything, like to finish off the year from last year and making sure I've seen everything that we're going to be talking about for the Oscar season and all that kind of stuff. So I've been looking backwards a lot and not forwards a lot. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to see what we've got in store for 2019. We're going to talk about it in terms of in terms of the months of release, and just see what we've got to look forward to. I mean, we already know we've got 3 Disney live action remakes to look forward to. We've got some sequels, some reboots, you know, the original stuff and the indie stuff we don't get a whole lot of lead up marketing to and all that kind of stuff. So what we're talking about today is the bigger, more blockbuster movies. Let's just dive in. First up at number 10, Brie Larson is going to kick some ass as Captain Marvel. I am so excited. Like when she got cast in this role, I was super excited. You guys know I love me some superhero comic book movies. They're always so much fun, and I think Brie Larson is going to do an amazing job. I don't know much about this, about her character. I haven't read the comic books, but we know that this is set in the 90s. It's going to be pretty much a standalone origin story that by the end of it will somehow link us back up, like link to Nick Fury, and then at the end, hopefully, probably we'll link back around to the Avengers, and then that'll link back into the Avengers for later in the year with the finale. I think this is going to be really fun. I hope they don't go too overboard with the CGI and just kind of let it breathe with a lot of great performance from Brie Larson. There's this part in the trailer where it shows flashes of Brie Larson playing Carol Danvers throughout time, like her as a girl, her as a teenager, her as a young woman, her as Captain Marvel, and it kind of just flashes through them, and I'm like, damn, I'm super excited. Next up at number 9, in March, we are going to get Jordan Peele's horror follow-up to his more social thriller Get Out. This one is called Us. It's just called Us, and there was a lot of mystery surrounding what this film was going to be all throughout last year, and then over Christmas the trailer dropped and the internet went crazy. This one stars Winston Duke, Lupita Nyong'o, Elizabeth Moss, there's Tim Heidecker, and they're this family that seem to go on a vacation, and then they're confronted by doppelgangers of themselves. It looks like we're going to be a little bit in the supernatural vein here, but full on horror. It looks scary as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I like horror, but I am straight up horrified by horror, like scary horror, especially supernatural horror. I am looking forward to seeing this. Love Jordan Peele. Get Out was so great, and I really want to support this movie. I'd like to see it in the cinema, but we shall see if I have the guts. Next up at number 8, we're staying on the horror theme with Pet Semetary. So, you know, in 2017, Stephen King's adapted novel in It just totally blew up. Bill Skarsgård was a truly horrifying It, and it was really good. I loved the remake of It. So now here we go, we've got another Stephen King. We're staying on, Warner Brothers is staying on to a good thing and remaking Pet Sematary. Now I have not read the original novel which this is based on, nor have I seen the 80s original film, so I don't know anything about it except that Pet Sematary, something about things buried in the backyard or in the forest and coming back to life. But the trailer has got a whole bunch of children wearing creepy masks and it looks terrifying. Again, I'm not sure if I could actually bring myself to see this one in the cinema. I don't know, man. Why do they, like, little children and horror just get me every time. I work in movies. I know it's not real. I know it's not real, but I still get scared. Next up, it's the end of an era at number 7 with Avengers Endgame coming out at the end of April, and this is going to see finally how the Avengers bring down Thanos, who was the perfect Marvel villain in last year's Infinity War, and I'm really excited. I think this is going to just tie everything together. The fact that this is the end of an era is really exciting. This is going to mark the departure of many of the big names that have been playing these heroes for years and years and years. So I don't know what to expect, but I am confident that they will wrap it up, you know, well. They're not going to be able to please everybody out there, but I think they're going to wrap it up well. I loved Infinity War. I thought it was great. I have high hopes for Endgame. P.S. if Gamora is not really dead, I'm going to be super mad because I was very invested in that death. And if they just like bring her back, you know, it's somehow going to retroactively undo all the stakes that were raised in Infinity War. You know, at number 6, it is Aladdin. I love Disney's cartoon version of Aladdin. I am not at all interested in this live action remake. I'm just not. I'm straight up, I'm not interested. I'm interested in some of the other Disney live action remakes, but for some reason Aladdin does not seem to interest me at all. This remake is being directed by Guy Ritchie from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, yay, but also from King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and other such abominations. So I'm not expecting heaps. Plus, Will Smith is going to be playing the genie, so obviously not Robin Williams, and I just don't know how anyone else could ever tackle that. I don't know. The teaser for the film has come out so far. We haven't got a full trailer, but the teaser was pretty lackluster, I have to say. Now, number 5 is a reboot slash sequel. I think this is more of a sequel that I am excited for. It doesn't come up that often that I'm excited for a sequel that's not a Marvel movie. This is Men in Black International, starring Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, reunited because of course they both played characters in Thor Ragnarok and were so great together. So I'm really hyped for this film. Like, the trailers and marketing look really fun. These two have proved that they're a good action comedy duo, and it's being directed by F. Gary Gray, and we're not going to have Will Smith or Tommy Lee Jones coming back, but it does exist in the same world. So it's a sequel. Wait, if it's existing in the same universe as the original Men in Black, so it is technically a sequel, even though we're rebooting with new characters within the original universe. Okay, does that make sense? Sometimes that whole thing, sequel, requel, retread, confuses me. Number 4, the long-awaited Toy Story 4. That's right, Toy Story is back. After Toy Story 3 ended and we thought that was like all done and dusted and we were never going to see Buzz and Woody again, they're coming back for Toy Story 4, which has been so long awaited. We thought this movie was going to come out last year, and then the dates came and went and we heard absolutely nothing. There hasn't been a full trailer yet, just a couple of teasers. There looks like there's a new toy character called Forky, who's like a piece of cutlery with some pipe cleaner arms. I don't know if that's a bit or if that's actually going to be a character in the film. I don't really know much about the story, but I do know there'll be Tim Allen, there'll be Tom Hanks, John Cusack, John Ratzenberger, and all coming back, which I think is awesome. Unfortunately, Don Rickles passed away. His voice is Mr. Potato Head, so I guess I'll have to recast him, which is sad. But apart from that, it all looks really exciting. I think that Pixar have this franchise nailed. I think they'll probably reprise a lot of the same themes that we've seen in the previous installments of Toy Story, and you know what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think it'll be a good time. 7, 6, 5. I did not count this right. I've got too many movies. Okay, at number 3, I'm just like looking at my notes here. Clearly I didn't do my math right because we're up to number 3, but I have 4 more movies to talk about. Number 3 is The Lion King, coming out in July. This is directed by Jon Favreau, and he has already done a Disney live action remake, full CGI style. He adapted The Jungle Book really successfully. I thought The Jungle Book in 2017, was absolutely fantastic, and the fact that it was all CGI just blew my mind. So if The Lion King was to be in anybody's hands, I am very glad it's in Jon Favreau's hands. I do hope that this isn't sort of like a shot-for-shot remake. We saw the teaser come out and pretty much you could side by side clips from the original Lion King animation and this new remake, and it was like nostalgia overloaded. It was like exactly the same. It's gonna be a fine line between riding the nostalgia train and readapting source material for new generations. So we will see. We've got James Earl Jones reprising his role as Mufasa, and Elton John soundtracks apparently are coming back, so all those original songs that we know and love will be back. Because I did not do my math correctly and I have 11 titles instead of 10 titles, I'm just gonna like shoehorn Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just shoehorn right that in there at number 3. This is the new film from Quentin Tarantino. This one's got a little bit of controversy surrounding it. I am a huge Tarantino fan. I've always loved his films, especially Kill Bill, one of my all-time favorites. But you know, in this post-Harvey Weinstein world, he was very much in the Weinstein circle of trust, and he also, I mean, like, he's a bit of a weird, I don't know how to say it. He's a bit of a weirdo himself, which is why I kind of think that that translates so interestingly and well in his films. But as a person, you know, he's a bit of a loose cannon. Let's just put it that way. And this will be his first film away from the Harvey Weinstein circle. Set in 1969 against the backdrop of the Manson family murders. I really am unsure how tasteful this one is going to be. I'm not sure. It's got a pretty incredible cast, but again, Tarantino is a loose cannon, so it's anyone's guess how this film will turn out. Next up, we have another Joker movie. Another Joker movie that nobody asked for, but I'm interested. It's being directed by Todd Phillips and is going to give us an origin story to the Batman supervillain, the Joker. So this one stars Joaquin Phoenix, who just has proved time and time again that he can do straight up crazy really, really well. And I'm definitely intrigued. We haven't got full trailers for this one, just a couple of teasers. We don't know how clown his makeup is going to be, like, because I know a few iterations of the Joker previously have gone away from the clown route and have gone full makeup, like Jared Leto and Heath Ledger. Oh my god, Heath Ledger is the Joker. His makeup was more clownish, but like really faded clown, and then the original film iteration of the Joker was Jack Nicholson, like 30 years ago, and that was proper clown. So there's a lot on the clown spectrum for this one to fall, so we're just gonna have to see how it goes. It's really odd because Warner Brothers are going to be doing 2 Jokers. So their Jared Leto Joker still exists from Suicide Squad, and there's still talk about a Joker Harlequin spin-off from that Suicide Squad. But then this Joker, played by Joaquin Phoenix, is going to exist in his entirely own universe. So Warner Brothers is going to have like 2 separate universes out there with Jokers in them. It's kind of weird. Clearly I just like talking about movies because I just threw in an extra bonus movie. In December we are going to get the final trilogy wrap up of Star Wars Episode 9. J.J. Abrams is returning after Colin Trevorrow, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. He left the project after creative differences, and J.J. Abrams stepped back onto the scene. To be honest, J.J. Abrams is the safest hands for Episode 9, and I'm really excited. I have loved these movies. I love The Force Awakens. That was just a whole new ball game for me. I'm excited. I'm not going to talk about this one too much because there is so much speculation out there about what we're going to see, where it's going to be. I mean, we know that this one is going to pick up 1 year later, which is interesting to have that time jump, and I do like that because Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and Episode 8, The Last Jedi, kind of went back to back in terms of timeline. So now we've got a 1 year like break, and then we're coming back for episode 9. So it's great that there's going to be a little bit of breathing room and our characters will have moved on and a few things will have happened in between that probably will be addressed during episode 9. I'm super excited. I love Rey, and I am positive that the story of her lineage wasn't all wrapped up nicely in episode 8, sorry, when they talked about her parents just being scrap junkers who sold her in a card game. Like, no, I'm sure Kylo Ren was lying. There is so much more to that story, and we're going to see it all play out in December. That has been it, guys. They have been the movies that I am looking forward to this year. I know I talked about Aladdin, which is technically a movie I'm not looking forward to, so I don't know how that slipped in there. I probably shouldn't have talked about it. In fact, that's where I went wrong with my counting. There would have been 10 movies I'm super pumped for, and then plus Aladdin just snuck in there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to my channel here and keep up to date with all things movies and TV. Please let me know what you guys are looking forward to seeing this year. I'd really love to know. There are so many more films on the slate for 2019 that I haven't even gotten to talk about, so please let's talk about them in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.